Hello and welcome to another edition of Veterans Speak Out, sponsored by New Hampshire Veterans for Peace. This is Will Thomas, one of your three hosts today, U.S. Navy, and I'm happy to be here.
And I'm Bill McCarthy, retired Navy lieutenant from Manchester, also. I'm a member for Veterans for Peace.
And I'm Richard Murphy, a retired sergeant in the United States Army, and I'm happy to be here.
Good. I also believe that we want people to contact us. We want people to use our email, even phone. We want people to let us know what they think of our program and our topics. And I do believe that we live in one of the most militarized nations in the entire world.
The most, yeah. The most militarized.
Well, Israel is close second.
Well,
With the cuts in the defense budget, I was just reading that recently, with the cuts in the defense budget over the next 10 years, it's still going to have a growth factor in it.
yeah.
At the end of the day, right, it's still going to be bigger than the next 10 countries
combined.
Combined. That's how
Right.
much they're going to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Israel has nothing. I mean, I know what you're saying, the society is, but they're like us. We're trapped here.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
trapped there.
We're
The
fighting
government.
back. I mean,
Well,
actually,
yeah, we are, but
I mean, we are part of the Occupy Wall Street movement.
sure.
Our national board has signed on. We do stand in solidarity
Yes.
with the because we are the
Yeah,
99%.
and everybody else is trying to
Absolutely.
demonize them.
Right. And our particular concern is the military-industrial complex and all these overseas bases and the huge amount of money spent on private contractors in countries overseas.
It's a scary country we live in.
It is.
Because I was watching a South Carolina debate, and when Ron Paul got to the points that he makes that we all agree with about cutting back on the defense overseas, bring some money back home, in South Carolina when he made that speech, which went over so well in New Hampshire, he was booed.
Yeah.
He was booed by the crowd.
Oh, of
down
They're a
there.
course.
different breed. Well, it's a lot
Well,
of
they're
military
military.
bases.
They're a military
Yeah,
base there. That's a lot of
Yeah.
military, but they are different. It's a scary country.
I was saying, Richard, do you remember in the 60s, and Bill, in the 1960s, there was a slogan, you saw it on bumper stickers, and of course the Miss Leader was involved in putting these out. It was a slogan that said, love it, America,
or leave it.
Or leave it.
Or leave
And
it.
remember, we countered with change it
Change it.
or lose it. And that's where we're at today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same kind of situation, you know.
Change it.
We
and
never
lose
learn.
it.
Well, okay, our first big topic, let's talk about Israel and the U.S. Presidential election upcoming, the primaries. One particular candidate is receiving a lot of financial aid indirectly, a super PAC called, Winning the Future, Our Future. Okay, who is this candidate who is receiving a lot of
Gingrich.
Newt Gingrich.
Newt Gingrich.
Okay, do you know who this particular there's one backer and his wife.
What's his name? Adelson, or is that his name?
Adelson. And,
What's his first name?
Sheldon.
Sheldon Adelson. It's
How
giving
much
him
money?
$10 million bucks.
Well, he and his wife.
Oh, this PAC.
Right. It's a super PAC. So in other words, Gingrich allegedly doesn't know anything about this.
Yeah.
He has no direct contact with Sheldon, who, by the way, is a very, very close friend with Bibi Netanyahu.
Yeah.
And Bill, what's that connection?
Well, I heard, incidentally, speaking of these PACs, they say that they have no control of them at all. I actually heard words right out of Mitt Romney's mouth. I haven't talked to my PACs for several weeks now. So, I mean, that's exactly what he said. The words came right out of his mouth.
Right.
And you were asking me
The
about the connection between...
between Gingrich we know and Adelson.
Yeah.
Remember the comment Gingrich made in some debate? The Palestinians are
Yeah.
An invented people.
Invented, right.
Invented.
They're
yeah,
invented.
yeah.
people.
So this is like payback to Adelson.
Oh, yeah,
who's
definitely.
financing
Yeah.
who financed? Oh, what else in Israel? In Israel itself, Adelson is a big Las Vegas developer, I guess. And
No, I think it's a casino. I think
Casino.
it's a
Yes,
casino
right.
guys. Yeah. They
In
want to
Hong
develop
Kong
casinos,
and
right.
everywhere, all
Right.
over the world.
but the money that he's made, some of it's gone to Israel for what?
Well, to lobby to move the capital of Israel, to Jerusalem.
Jerusalem from Tel Aviv.
From Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
But what about these?
he actually said that he and his wife happened to innocently bump into Gingrich walking across the rotunda, the Capitol Rotunda, about 15 years ago. Got bumped into, and they struck up a conversation, and it worked out pretty well for both of them because Gingrich is getting funded, and he's going to get his way if Gingrich makes it.
I was under the impression that Gingrich, after he got drummed out here in New Hampshire's primary, that he got in touch with Adelson and asked him for $5 million.
No, he was still in touch. Adelson was in touch with him even through the New Hampshire. And he kind of laid off New Hampshire, really. Gingrich didn't do too much here. But he got the $5 million because he was sinking. He was sinking. Yeah. But Adelson was still in very good terms.
But remember, you got to remember,
he
too,
wasn't a newfound guy.
Historically, what happened after McCain won the primary up here in 2000? He got clobbered in South Carolina.
Yeah, dirty politics.
It's the same Republican people down there.
He had a illegitimate black
that's
black
what they
daughter.
did. Yeah.
It's just poor people who vote Republican down in South Carolina because of the military bases where they work, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And the military-industrial complex is alive and well, and the poor will vote for that because they need jobs.
Right. Well, what disturbs me a lot about Adelson is that some of his money goes to develop and construct houses, illegal settlements on land that belongs to the Palestinian people. And yet that has no concern by Gingrich about these human rights violations, about illegal, I'm trying to say it here, violation of the Geneva Conventions in terms of taking, territory.
Well, very little would bother Speaker Gingrich.
True.
Very little. He can rationalize anything. He's a master at it, you know.
Well, we know that.
There's another gentleman we should mention, Andrew Adler of the Atlantic Jewish Times.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Bill, I think you heard about this.
I did. It's
I
shocking.
haven't.
It's absolutely
He says
shocking.
Israel has 3 options to protect itself from an attack
It's
from
unbelievable.
Iran. By the way, you notice my button I've got
Yeah.
here. Hands
off
Iran.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about Mr. Adler of the Jewish Times in Georgia?
Well, I just can't get the third one out. You've got the 1 and 2. I'm
Okay.
getting like
Well, the
I'm
first
getting
one
like
he
Governor
says-
Perry now.
he says
but the
that,
third one I remember. Ask me the third one.
Israel must attack Gaza and wipe out Hamas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the same time, attack Hezbollah in Lebanon,
Right.
who are
I know number 3.
2 entities who are allegedly receiving arms and financial backing from Iran. Okay. Number 2, Mr. Adler says to protect Israel, aka USA, must launch a preemptive attack on Iran.
Yeah.
And the third option.
And the third one, if all of those fail, right, we're going to get some Mossad or American people, right, to assassinate Obama.
He actually put that in the paper?
He actually did.
Now,
He quickly apologized a few days later, but you know where his sentiments are.
Yeah, right.
was it on the
I can't
front
believe
page
they-
of the
No,
Union
no.
Misleader?
I can't believe they print something like that.
It was on the internet. I read on the internet exactly
right.
what he did. But and you know, Dick, when he apologized, just like you say, well, he really didn't mean it.
Of course he didn't.
But the real reason, he's not friendly to Israel, not friendly enough, supportive, but Biden would become the president, and allegedly he would be more supportive, and he would help obliterate, it says, all of Israel's enemies. Biden.
Well, they're very happy with Biden. AIPAC likes him. He's a favorite. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, folks, we talk about these things, and, there is such a thing as a military-industrial complex. Let's add
It's
media.
the whole country.
Let's add media
That's
to it.
media, absolutely.
And why this is not major news. And maybe tonight.
The media is working on starting a war.
yeah.
They're kind of urging us and pushing us into this Iran thing. I just mentioned to you guys when the U.S. Navy rescued some guys, some Iranian sailors, right? They've been captured by the pirates.
Right.
And the Navy, U.S. Navy, which I was proud of, they took the guys over to the Navy ship, gave them hot showers, gave them some chow, they ate and everything. And as they were leaving the ship in the healthiest shape after 40 days of captivity, and the Navy's gig was taking them to the beach and everything, the Navy gave them hats. USS Isaac Kidd, I think it was, hats to wear, and they were very proud of it. Yeah. And our major media that night, national news said, I heard the guy say it, he said they better take those hats off before they get to the shore because we're not, they hate us and we hate them, and and anything but that, you know.
The Iranian people, based
Jeez.
on again Rick Steves' travel
Yeah, yeah.
DVD, don't hate American people.
No, of course they don't.
And yet we buy into this, like with Iraq, the build up to the attack on Iraq.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exact same thing.
Demonizing
This idea of Iraq
Ahmadinejad.
being able to attack us and hurt
Yeah.
us is
Yeah, they
complete
could never attack
fabrication,
us.
just as Iran can't. And Iran's got every right in the world, as far as I can see, to build their own nuclear power plants. That's what we did.
Right.
Israel did it completely illegally.
Oh.
Never signed on to
Yeah.
the United Nations
And
nuclear
don't forget,
power.
Israel has attacked 2 other countries who were in the process of building a nuclear power plant,
Yeah, Syria, for one.
Syria and
Was it-
Saddam Hussein,
Well,
Iraq.
Iraq, yeah.
Well, like you were just mentioning, also they're involved in stopping the Iranian thing
Yeah,
by assassinating people.
of course.
Mossad assassinated a young scientist, 32-year-old
He's
scientist.
the fifth one.
He's the fifth one. And the criticism among a lot of the United States senior military people is that Mossad is doing that largely at the expense of the United States goodwill, because we do have connections with different groups around the country, around the world.
Right.
And they have convinced these people that they're acting in our behalf. And even General Hoare, which I mentioned to you, right, who's a 4-star general, former commander of CENTCOM. And once the war starts, he can't say much about it. He was against us getting into Iraq. He was probably smart about that. Once it started, he couldn't say too much. But even he said the other day when they assassinated that scientist, he said that they're doing things that we don't even know about, and that they are going to get us into a war, not of our own choosing, but of their choosing. And so he's speaking out again now. And these are senior, respected military experts, right?
Again, how much
Is he
media?
still in the service? Is he, or is
No,
he retired?
No, he's retired. He's retired.
Well, at least he's
Well,
saying
the
something.
group that Bill's referring to is that Jundala.
Yes.
Jundala
Yeah,
are allegedly a Pakistani terrorist group, right? Jundala.
Yes.
And the story goes...
They
and it
met in
seems-
London, I guess.
Yeah, and it seems to be verified, several different sources, that Mossad, and what is Mossad for people maybe who are watching who don't know?
It's like our CIA.
CIA. And so they contacted some of these Jundala people
In London.
in London, but they passed themselves off as
CIA. American
CIA
CIA.
agents.
American support.
and paid these guys and their organization, and allegedly then these are the people involved in doing the killing, as well as blowing up some mosques in Iran.
Yeah.
And by the way, I heard, was it yesterday or this morning, another bomb blast in Iraq, another 14, 15 people. I think that is the problem. We left that country in such dire circumstances.
Of course we did.
That we, when we invaded, all of these deaths, and it just keep piling up more and more.
Yeah.
It's just...
I don't think they get electricity in Baghdad, just about 3 hours on average a
and
day.
so
if that.
apparently we're about to do the same thing to Iran,
No clean water.
Yeah.
But
I guess these assassinations, they fall under the meeting that they had with Jindal. It's like a false flag type operation, right? And there was one not too long ago in another country. Remember they had Irish passports?
Oh, yeah.
They were Mossad agents, and they had Irish passports that time. So they are using passports from other countries to do their dirty work. And some of these military guys said, I had a quote there, they're just stunned by the brazenness of this, and that where they're going to walk us right into this big war, probably blow up the world for crying out loud. Do something about it.
Well, and that's where...
And all of our congressmen and senators are afraid to say anything because they get their money from these guys.
Right. And wasn't there in Saudi Arabia, there was a Hamas agent or somebody from Hamas who was killed by Mossad in Saudi Arabia? And again, they had passports from New Zealand and, I don't know, Germany, but they were Israelis.
Yep.
So, they are brazen in terms of what they do.
Yeah, well, but they do the same thing that the United States of America has been doing for decades, and that's assassinate people. I'd love to know how many people we actually assassinated.
Did you
'cause
hear Hillary Clinton said, we don't do that?
Yeah.
No. Incidentally, I had it down. Last week I wasn't here, but my second item had to do with Hillary and Panetta saying that that's out of character for us.
right.
And I was so glad that you both attacked that last week. You did
It's
a good
laughable
job.
because
you could talk more about it if you want.
William Blum, we recommend Killing Hope. Remember William Blum, who lists all these assassinations.
I had My Lie Down, Ears. Dick covered that one, right?
Yeah.
Then I had Abu Ghraib, Gitmo, the renditions, torture, waterboarding, striker unit
but
playing
there's
games.
many we don't even know about.
Iranians, there's plenty of stuff we don't know. That's just what we know about.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Exactly.
It's kind of in character, unfortunately.
Yeah, so.
Well, I think the one in the Congo in the '60s was
Patrice
remarkable.
Lumumba.
Patrice
Oh,
Lumumba.
we tried to get Castro. remember?
And then the one that it sparked about a month or two ago about the United Nations, Dag Hammarskjöld there.
Oh, yeah.
The plane was actually shot down. It didn't crash in
Yeah.
I don't know what the country is in southern Africa. Didn't crash. They have tribesmen who saw two planes, one shot fire at the other one.
Yeah.
brought
And
down-
with all of those things, the only guy that got in trouble was Bradley Manning for trying to tell us the truth about some of this
What's
stuff.
the story on him? I mean, I know that he's going to go be
He
court-martialed, but
will
Yeah.
be court-martialed.
it hasn't started yet.
Right. So that's upcoming.
Yeah.
Um,
Chris Hedges, your friend, is suing the
Yes.
Obama.
now, why is he suing Obama?
I don't
For
know.
what Michael Moore's trying to find out?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And Chris Hedges, he's got some friends of his, I guess, who are lawyers, and they put in a lawsuit into the Bronx Circuit Court
Right.
or whatever, and he's actually suing him, right, for taking away his rights, I think,
Yeah.
and so forth, trying to find out what went on. Chris Hedges, one of his greatest quotes is, "Dissent is equated with treason." That's he thinks Obama and the government think any dissent is treasonous.
Well, Rahm Emanuel in Chicago, they're going to have these big protests in May against NATO, and the G8 nations are meeting, both organizations in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be...
So in order to have a protest, you have to put up $1 million bond as well. And then they'll be limited to the area, the duration of time.
Free
so they
speech
are,
areas.
Rahm Emanuel stifling free speech.
Free speech areas.
Dissent.
Oh, yeah.
You can speak freely over there
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
the trees. No one can
So
see
that
you.
follows in line.
Yeah.
And then I
They
mentioned,
might get the IDF over to help them out, help them enforce this stuff, you
Right.
know?
But Michael Moore, you said, is
Michael,
investigating.
Michael Moore, I've saw is he's joined a joint process under the Freedom of Information Act with the Partnership for Civil Justice, and they're going after the CIA, FBI, police, and everything, because they think that there was a coordinated effort to smash the Occupy movement, smash them and demonize, and they're still doing it in California, University of California,
yeah.
Riverside. The kids that got inside, they had enough troubles, but then outside, the cops came in and smashed everybody. And that's not the old one. The other one was University of California, Davis.
Right.
Davis
And I
campus.
think she's still probably president. She should have been fired for that, what they did there. You
Right.
saw that one, right, when they were spraying that
Oh, yeah.
stuff into people's
Sure,
faces.
sure.
They're still doing that stuff.
Well, again, that leads into where we discovered that the chief of the state troopers, the head of the state
Yeah.
troopers, went to Israel to learn updated techniques about security.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's from all over the country. So what are we turning into, you said?
Well,
A
this-
fascist?
I
Oh,
just
we're
found
fascists,
another.
of
I
course
just
we-
found another note here. This Sergeant Wunderlich, you know who he is?
It's familiar, but
He's
I
a
don't.
Marine. He was a sergeant, like you were, Dick, a sergeant, right? A combat type guy. And he was first day of combat out there with his young troops, and they hit IED, and one of his guys, I think, got killed or wounded or something. And he and his company went absolutely bonkers. They started shooting
Oh, that's right,
civilians.
yeah.
They started shooting civilians in the back. All the civilians that they shot had bullet holes in the back, right?
Yeah, they murdered them.
Then they went to the houses nearby because they thought one of them might have escaped to get into the houses, and the people were running away from these crazy bastards. Excuse me,
Yeah.
crazy guys with their guns and stuff.
they
They're
shot
running for
them.
fear of their life, and these guys were shooting them down,
Right.
going into the house, and they were running out. They were shooting them.
Now,
They
what
killed like 22 civilians.
That was it.
Everybody got out of it. Everybody in his platoon.
Right.
He took the whole rap.
including him.
Yeah.
Didn't he just get like a 3-month?
Three or 4
Exactly.
months.
That's my punchline.
So-
That's what he's negotiating
Right.
now, a plea. Everybody else got, I think, nothing, if they even got 3 months. And he has negotiated the plea now that he's going to get like 3 months, maybe suspended even.
Now,
Yeah.
this
It's
is,
hard, unbelievable, huh?
Yeah.
I saw that on the news. I think it was on last night. They had
was
that
this
on.
Haditha? At Haditha,
I
the
don't
place
know.
where it
I
happened.
don't know.
I'm not sure.
In Iraq.
Yeah, I think it
In
was.
Iraq.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
in
was
Defa.
Iraq. I
There
think
was
it
a
was in Defa.
60-minute piece, so maybe
That's exactly.
a year and a half ago.
There had been a 60-minute
Yeah.
piece, and they show clips of that
Right.
last night. But
Right.
now it's coming to fruition, and he's negotiated this plea as lawyer. And they interviewed him. They showed some of the 60-minute piece too.
Right.
But
But
I
weren't-
thought he would get 3 months.
Weren't
Killed
there
21
women
people.
and children involved
Yes,
as well?
yes, there were.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are the,
Yeah,
the
yes, there
brave
were. Yeah.
troops that
Yeah.
we send.
And he took the
to-
whole blame. Everybody get out, and now he's
Yeah.
getting out of it.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he might have been in my old outfit,
Really?
5th Infantry. Yeah,
Wow.
I think so. I think it's the Stryker Brigade.
I
Does
think
that ring a
I
bell?
think so.
Yeah. They didn't call it that then, but it's the 5th,
think
same
so.
same outfit. Yeah.
But I think it was his like first day of combat.
Oh yeah.
well, let's talk about remember the Project for a New American Century, the neocons. Their plan in the 1990s was to attack Iraq, remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they also had a plan to invade Iran. And by the way, Syria is part of this as well. So why attack Iran? No, it's not for the nukes. What are the 3 reasons why?
Oil, oil, oil.
Well, that's right. But the neocons, of course, want to use the military to achieve, in their minds at least, world hegemony,
Oh,
control, with all their bases overseas, etc.
Yeah.
Secondly, we're going to back Israel's desire to eliminate all support for the Palestinians and Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. Israel wants to seize all of Palestine and all of the water, I said it earlier, resources in southern Lebanon. And to do this, Iran must be eliminated so Israel can expand and take all of the West Bank and everything that's there, including maybe part of Lebanon. And third, I think we mentioned, if you take out Iran, according to the neocons, you will deter or slow down the rise of China as an economic and military power
Wow.
by controlling China's access, as you
oil.
said, oil, and some natural gas, I guess, as well. By the way, China had invested huge amounts of money in Libya, in oil. What happened to those investments, I'm wondering, after NATO, a.k.a. the U.S., attacked Libya? What's happened?
We took
I
them.
don't know.
I
I
bet.
didn't know that.
And then China has gone into Africa. We know that, right? Has made investments in Africa. Shortly after
In
they
the
started
Sudan, I
doing this-
believe, too.
Yeah,
That's
in
where a lot
Sudan,
of
right.
oil is. Yeah.
But what did Bush, before he left office, he set up not a central command, but an Africa command,
Right.
Africa command,
Right.
to balance or counterbalance China's
He
economic
likes
investments.
Africa.
Africa. So,
Mysterious.
and we know
Mysterious
that
place.
if Iran is attacked, since China relies so heavily on Iran for much of their oil, what will China do? How will China respond? And Russia's making sounds now that they would support Iran. So if we got Iran, Russia, and China allied versus Israel, the U.S., Europe, you're talking about World War III.
Yeah, we are. Well, we're right now doing it. We have a joint task force. It's just not the United States. Germany and France, I think, both
Right.
involved in it too. Going right up in through the Hormuz, Straits of Hormuz,
Yeah.
and basically, if you look at it the way it lines up, you have to have the conclusion they're coming to get your oil, right? That's it, whether you
Exactly.
like it or not, you know. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by the way, the European Union voted, it was in the news today, to approve the sanctions on they will not take any more Iranian oil.
yeah.
They're going to get it from where? Venezuela? No.
I don't know.
I think so.
But so they're trying to strangle the economy,
Yeah.
and it's working.
Yeah.
And who will be hurt again? Remember, we always quote Madeleine Albright, Madam Secretary. The sanctions have
The
led
children.
to 500,000 Iraqi children dying as a result of
Well worth
unclean-
it, she replied.
unclean water and lack of medical supplies and all
Yeah.
that. She said, yeah, well, the price was high, but it was worth it. You guys see
Absolutely.
the same thing in Iran?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are. It's a shame that they can't talk to anybody. Nobody
Well,
wants to
some-
talk
yeah.
to somebody, you know. England did it to Iran before, right? They didn't want to give them any money for their oil.
Right.
And look what we got to blow back because we got Ayatollah and all that other type
Right.
of. It's amazing in this day and age that people can't negotiate and talk. Look at the Navy captain on that ship and stuff like that, bringing the guys in, getting them some chow and hats and stuff. He makes more friends than we do
that's-
with the
that's
stuff
diplomacy.
that we do.
But-
That's the point. He's
see,
probably he's
That's
probably
also the law of the sea, though, isn't it, Bill?
Well,
I mean,
no, he's probably got a letter of
Oh
reprimand
yeah, he's
in
been
his jacket
he's been
right now.
cashiered.
I don't think
He's
gonna
all
make
done.
admiral.
Of course
I don't
not.
think he'll make admiral.
But what is diplomacy in the State Department? It's an unused word.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a militarized.
Right. It's
state.
strong arming everywhere.
Well, yeah,
we go.
they even passed a law that that they can't discuss things. The State Department people can't discuss things with Iran, right? But they tell you what it's called, the Creepers Law or something like Cooties, the Cooties Law, right?
Cooties Law.
The Cooties
The
Law,
Cooties
because
Law.
they'll be
What is it?
You'll be contaminated. They passed a resolution in the House. It's unanimous, practically unanimous. 8 people voted against it. It was sponsored by AIPAC primarily.
Oh
I
yeah,
think, you know.
that's
And
okay.
they said you cannot. Nobody in our government can talk to anybody in the other people's
Right, the
government
Cooties
because
Law.
under Bush dreamed it up. You would get contaminated if you talk to people on the other
Yes.
side. So you might get cooties, you know. So it's the cooties.
And it actually all this goes back to Texas. Really, it goes back to oil people.
That's a beautiful place to be from. the
They're
Texas.
they're the people who run the country,
That's right.
Yeah.
and they just make millions every time there's a war. They make billions.
You think a big state like
And the
that,
people
you think
like
they must be
so-
pretty
and
smart, but
The
we saw
people,
what happened.
the poor people in South Carolina vote for these people,
Yeah.
and they think that they're going to get something back. They get nothing. They're
Yeah.
with their lousy jobs and whatever.
Well, yeah.
You know, speaking of support, though, I saw the other day that every representative jumps higher and higher to see how much more money they can get from AIPAC or how much press they can get in the Israeli newspaper. There's a congressman from Florida, Ross Lehtinen. She's a lady congressman
yeah,
from there.
yeah,
right.
And so she's cutting funding. She's in charge of some committee down there. And she's cutting funding to Palestinian, any aid to Palestine. They're trying to get her to rescind part of it because they have a program similar to Sesame Street, which is
Right.
very good for kids.
Palestinians,
It's called Sim Sim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she cut the funding for Sim Sim for Palestinian children.
Wonderful
Right.
woman. Wonderful.
The
Wonderful.
Palestinians
Humanitarian.
don't have
Christian, I'm sure.
the Sim.
And thank God she's a
And the-
Republican for a change.
But the Israelis do. They have their little children's show, but
Oh,
the Palestinians
absolutely.
don't have.
They
It's
got
just
everything.
ridiculous.
They got
What
everything.
they're trying to do, I think, is instigate a third uprising. They want another
Maybe,
intifada
Yeah, right.
in Palestine. And so they can justify coming in again
What a
with
mess.
their
And then you get
Hellfire
the guy
missiles.
next door, which the Jewish people, some people have argued to me, well, why are you so concerned about Palestinians? Look what's happening next door to Syria. How come you're not concerned about that? Well, that's not right either. You
No,
know,
of course
next
not.
door, you know, jeez. It is
Although
a
I'm
messed
not
up
sure
area.
We're getting the true
And-
story there in terms of the media, but
Yeah.
we only have about
Oh,
a minute left. So
One
I
or two.
guess final words.
I have nothing to say. I'm so depressed.
Yeah, yeah, Bill.
Well, I see there's a movie out. Meryl Streep's playing Margaret Thatcher. And
It's been panned.
and I'm
though.
glad it didn't get such big score as the movie because Margaret Thatcher, in my book, was nothing to be making a movie about. I know people in England who think she practically destroyed the country single-handedly.
So of course she did.
was as good for England as Ronald Reagan was for
Right.
our country, and they made a perfect marriage.
Okay, and so until next
On that
time.
happy note,
On that happy note, we don't recommend the film. All right, so we're going to say goodbye, good luck, so long. Until next time, practice democracy. Granny D said democracy is not something we have, it's something we do. So, as A.J. Musty said,
There is no
no
way to
to
peace.
peace.
Peace is the way.
the way. So long.